ATHLEAN-X.com. Today we're going to talk about and figure out whether your workouts are the source of your pain. You see, if you were to take assessment right now of yourself, maybe you have, and you likely have, 2, 3, maybe even 4 spots that hurt. Does the inside of your elbow hurt maybe when you do pull-ups? Maybe just sitting here, turning your head right or left, do you get a pain or a little bit of soreness one direction versus the other? Maybe your low back hurts when you're doing ab exercises. Or your knees hurt when you try to squat. Or when you raise your arm up over your head. One doesn't go up as high or as smooth as the other, or it cracks and pops. Something is probably wrong. And you have to ask yourself, is it your training that's causing these discomforts and pains? Or, if you weren't training, would the weakness that you'd have make things even worse? I can tell you this, the big mistake, regardless of how many things are hurting you at this point, is that you're comparing yourself to yourself yesterday, and I'm talking about maybe even literally yesterday, when you approach the gym for your workout today. That's the mistake. Because the more you do that, the more you're setting yourself up to incur more of these injuries, even if your training is really not to blame, meaning that your training program is good. Now, unfortunately, as a physical therapist who treats a lot of people that come to me following bad training regimens and programs, I can tell you that a lot of them aren't. And they're leaving them in this condition where they're feeling beat up, and maybe you're feeling that way too because of the shitty thing that you're following, the shitty workouts that you're following. But if they're good, if you approach the gym with that mentality of always being the same guy every single day, or woman every single day, you're not going to wind up getting the most out of your body. Sometimes you have to be able to react on the fly and say, I'm changing things up. So I always remember this story when I was in Port St. Lucie with the Mets training at Gold's Gym. And I went in there one day and I'm doing my regular workout, and I'm on the other side of one of those multi-stack pieces of equipment, and there's a girl doing tricep pushdowns on the other side. And she's literally mid-set, and she's like getting more and more frustrated. And then she's like, I can't feel it. I can't feel it. I can't feel it. She's telling her training partner. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I can't feel it. And then she starts bawling. I can't feel it in my tricep. I can't feel it. And I'm like, holy shit. It was really like John Rambo at the end of First Blood. If you haven't seen it, you'll know, or if you have, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And I remember thinking, what is the big deal? Who cares if it doesn't, like, if you were able to bench press 315 in the last workout and this time you can't, so what? It's a single workout. Where injuries occur is when you try to demand from your body the same performance that you were capable of a few days prior and a day that you may not be able to. Maybe you're just not feeling it today. Maybe your shoulders are a little bit stiff. Maybe something else that you did led to that being stiff. Maybe yard work led to your shoulders being stiff that doesn't allow you to perform the way you did the other day when you trained your chest. Whatever the reason is, you have to be able to react on the fly and change that and not be so obsessed that that is going to set you back in any particular way. Demanding something out of your body that you don't have is going to set you back. So here's where this is all kind of comes to a head. And the best advice I can ever give you is what I try to bring to you every single week on this channel, and that is learn the why of what you're doing and not just the what. Because the what alone is what gets you in trouble. Oh, I know what to do. I was told what to do. Okay, exercise A, B, C, D, whatever, with no care at all about the conditions that might be present while I'm trying to do exercise A, B, C, D. If you know why you're doing exercise A, B, C, D, and then also know why what you're doing works when you're doing exercises A, B, C, D, now you become empowered to actually change those when you need to and not obsess or feel like you're going to be taking a major step backwards when you do make those changes. So I always try here to tell you guys the why of what we do. And I think that's what makes our channel different from everybody else. And that's, I want to educate you on to why. Don't just, here's what to do. Because here's what to do is not going to address everybody out there. But knowing why is going to allow you to make the decisions yourself for when you should be making some changes and when you should maybe step back. And as far as the message of this video, I'm going to tell you this. It's not an old man's message, one for guys like me. It's for guys that are probably even more valuable to people that are a lot younger than me. Because had I not followed the bad advice I got and continued to try to demand stuff out of my body that I wasn't capable of, like hammering myself every day trying to bring the same performance that I didn't have necessarily, and not in an abnormal way. It's just I didn't have it. It's very normal for us not to be consistently excellent. I hurt myself probably very badly during my teen years and my early 20s, training that way, to the point where now I'm trying to be able to overcome that. The good news is this: when you have all the tools, and I got the tools, one of the best things I became was a master of compensation. I can come up with a million different ways. It's one of my biggest strengths as a physical therapist, a million different ways to tweak an exercise to allow me to do something. It will allow you to actually train through moments when you have aches and pains, wherever they may be. Not even have to abandon what's going on. I've always said you don't have to completely abandon training when something's hurting. You can figure out ways to actually train even that single area as well. You just got to know how to make adaptations to do that. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. The idea is learn the why and not just the what, and you'll realize that when these normal aches and pains come up, hopefully minimized by the fact that you're following a good training program, hopefully minimized by the fact that you're following a good training program, ATHLEAN-X.com, then you'll realize that training is a lifelong journey that's going to have its ups and downs, but as long as you can kind of continue on this upward trend, you're going to be really good at the end of the day. All right, guys, I'll be back here again in just a few days. And again, leave your requests down below. What would you like me to cover? There's a lot of injuries that I haven't even covered yet on this channel, and I try to do the ones that you guys want me to do. So tell me the things I can help you with that way, and whatever other topics you want to see, and I'll do my best to do that. All right, guys, I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.